I only got a few seconds to think of something inappropriate to say as you go live.
All right. Welcome to tonight's Pixel Scandal Nerdcast. I'm Kurt. I got End of Line, Reztez, and Gidget with me tonight. How y'all doing?
I'm very confused. Oh, you're live. Never mind. Okay, yeah.
You're like, great. Why is he talking to us like this?
I did turn off the song, right? That's not playing in the thing?
He's like, Kurt, why are you being so weird?
Okay, yeah.
You're like, why is he talking to us like this?
Yeah, no music.
Hi guys. We've been away for a couple weeks, and now we're back.
Doing adult things. Oh, I mean, like, not adult things. But like
well, I mean, we could have been doing
adult things you don't know.
Too.
I definitely was. A number of times.
Well, welcome to the Pixel Scandal Nerdcast, y'all.
Thanks, it's good to be here.
Yeah. Tonight we're going to talk about what we've been playing recently, what we did during our break, and when we get into our topic, we'll be going over Evo, the World Fighting Game Championships, which are currently streaming this weekend. So if you're super into that, I don't know why you're watching this, but if you are watching this, maybe check it out tomorrow, because the real good shit happens tomorrow.
Maybe they've got this open and then like that open too, and they're like splitting their attention between two really awesome things.
Hey, that could be it. That could be true.
Us and that. I don't think so.
That's fine. Well,
the VODs are better anyways.
Yeah, because then you can fast forward through the really annoying announcer peoples.
Yeah, I usually just wait a couple days and check out the highlights.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, cool. So, End of Line, what do we got as far as announcements are concerned?
We have our next chapter of Dungeon World next weekend. I believe it's Saturday.
We are playing August 11th, Saturday, August 11th at 9 a.m., which is next weekend.
Yes, we are.
However, we did also decide that we're going to take a month break, a one-off break from our Dungeon World game, and Kurt is going to run a one-shot. What are you running?
I'm going to run World of Dungeons Turbo Breakers, which is a modern setting World of Dungeons game. World of Dungeons is like a super slimmed down version of Dungeon World. There's only one move and all sorts of other stuff that we'll explain when we get to it. But it's a really, really simple system, like 2 pages of rules, real easy stuff. But it's modern day, and dungeons break into our reality. And there's these people called breakers, which are sort of like a cross between the Ghostbusters and like tornado chasers. And they go around and they go into these breaks and like close them and get artifacts and stuff to sell in the real world. So that's going to be what we're doing next time.
Okay.
And that'll be a one-shot, so it's just a single session game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And we will be back on September 8th for the pickup of our Dungeon World campaign that we are
Yes.
doing. So this is just a 1 month, we finished a town, and now we're going to take a 1 month break to do something different and interesting, and hopefully get other members of Pixel Scandal in there. Like End of Line can actually play.
Yeah.
Instead of just help produce. And then we'll go back to Dungeon World in September, and we'll see what Forrest and everyone else is up to.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what are we all excited about, guys?
BFA's coming out like in a week,
Yep.
I guess.
13th.
Guess there's an amount of excitement there.
Yeah. We've been playing a lot of WoW, getting ready.
I mean, the pre-quests were pretty neat. I did it on my Alliance. Well, I did half of the first half of the quests on my Horde character, and then I went over and did all the quests at once on my Alliance character. And watching Teldrassil and Darnassus burn to the ground was kind of sad.
Oh my god, spoilers.
Spoiler tag. Spoiler warning.
I think everybody knows that's coming, though. So if you don't know that, I'm very sorry. But yeah, no, it was very sad. I was very. And what I think the thing that was most surprising for me is after I finished that quest line, I had gone somewhere else on my mage and was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and see, like, what's going on there, if that's permanently like that, or if it's only instanced for like that line of quests or the new expansion or whatever. So I hit my portal to go to Darnassus, and it dropped me off in Darkshore and was like, the tree's burning, you can't go there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty surprising.
So I have to ask this question. What happened to the 7 people of the entirety of every server in World of Warcraft that had their home point set to Darnassus? What happened to those 7 people?
When they log in, they probably pop up on Darkshore and look and just see.
Is that what happened?
I mean, if
it burning.
if my mage portal takes me to Darkshore, it's probably the same spot where I popped in would be where their Hearthstone set.
So what happens if you try to fly out to the tree now? Do you just hit like an invisible wall?
Well, I mean, it's always been too far to fly. You'll get exhaustion and die.
Yeah.
You can still make it.
From Darkshore. You could see it burning in the background, though, like when you're standing on the shore of Darkshore, so it's kind of ominous.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nobody there. A bunch of quest givers, nobody cares. My question is, what happens if you make a new night elf right now?
Oh,
yeah, that's a
true.
really good point. I wonder
where they start.
I mean, where night elves
Is there
gonna
like
start?
I wonder if they do like a phasing thing, like you make a new night elf and.
Well, I know there's if you go out there and you're doing your dailies, running around in Darkshore, the world quests out there, there's a little exclamation or a little chat bubble icon on the map with like one of those little bronze time dragons that will take you to another timeline of Darkshore or whatever.
Mm,
Right.
It'll probably just teleport you back in time and be like, no, it's fine.
back in
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. As long as the bronze dragons are hanging around, nothing's permanent.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's on. Oh my god, there's a dog. It's eating your face.
Yeah, pretty much. That's yeah. I don't know, but we were talking kind of right before we started streaming about the Sylvanas. What do you call that thing?
The Warbringer cinematics. Yeah,
Cinematics,
there's
that's what I was
definitely
looking for.
definitely some controversy there. From what I can tell, a lot of people were disappointed with the direction they chose to go with Sylvanas. They just sort of went, ooh, boogie boogie, I'm a big bad villain and gonna do stuff because I'm bad, and it's not. It doesn't make sense in the world why the actions she took happened. So.
You know what? I think as a strong, independent woman, she should be allowed to make irrational decisions and kill people and burn down trees if she wants to. Because I feel that way today. All I want to do is kill people and burn down trees, but that's not allowed in this world. So, Sylvanas, you go, girl. That's how I feel today.
So, This, I mean, okay, so Sylvanas is the faction leader for the undead, right? And didn't we learn during the Wrathgate not to trust undead anythings at all? Never? Because I mean, they basically just dropped the plague on everybody, even their own people. And they're just like all willy-nilly, like, let's just kill all the things. So why is everybody surprised? It's undead's killing all the things.
Is that Sam?
We're getting a lot of barking.
And Align, is that Sam?
I'm sorry, I thought I muted and I think I didn't press the button all the way.
Okay. I was like, I think your puppy's barking.
Okay.
Speaking of doggies, something I'm excited about, because I'm sure we'll come back to WoW again when we talk about what we've been playing recently. But I backed a Kickstarter called Dungeons and Doggies that closed on Friday, and it comes with minis and their dogs that represent the different classes in D&D. So there's like a rogue, like Chihuahua with like a dagger in his mouth, looking all like scary. I'm a little scary dog. There's like a bard. Is it a Labrador?
I think so.
Bardbador. Sorry. But yeah, there's like, I think it comes with like 10 different dog minis, and they're all dressed up in the little different costumes for the different classes they're supposed to be. And then it comes with like rules for D&D 5th edition. So you can actually play like a whole doggy campaign if you want to. And it totally comes with like an adventure that when I finally get it, which I don't remember when it said, but I want to run it for you guys because that'd be so cute.
Cool. I demand that there be a puppy druid that wild shapes into a human.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be super awesome sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to do that.
Yeah. But I'm very excited about that. That's the thingy that I'm excited about.
Cool.
Let's see. What did I put on there? I think I marked.
You put Strategicon.
Oh yeah, we got a con coming up.
Yep.
The LA convention, Strategicon,
Gateway.
happens 3 times a year. This is Gateway is the September con. We go down Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think we're skipping Monday this year, but yeah, super excited. Christopher Gray, the guy who wrote Happiest Apocalypse, is gonna run. Man, I shouldn't say it because then more people will go sign up for
I know
this
you
game.
keep telling people about this game, and you really want to play it.
I won't be able to get into it, but he's gonna run a reverse 10 candles, called 16 Candles. And so it's basically the 16 Candles movie. So things start out super shitty, like nerds have your underwear and you can't get into the party, and then by the end, like, you know, you're driving away with the prom queen or whatever. At least that's what I assume is going to happen when I have to knife fight the Joey for my spot. We're gonna do a Beat It style knife dance, and whoever has the most moves, he's gonna win probably. I bet he's a better dancer than I am. The knife dance, so I better get into pre-reg because that's gonna be rough.
Anyway, so we're going to be at Strategicon playing role-playing games and board games and having all the drinks that we could possibly consume in like 4 days. So if you are into playing RPGs and board games, it's at the Hilton at the LAX in Los Angeles. Pre-reg is going on right now for badges. I think
Pre-reg starts on the 11th.
What? We're already... Oh, you mean for events?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
For events.
Yeah, to get badges is already open. Mm-hmm. Pre-regging for events opens next Saturday at like noonish.
Yep.
So I hope your game is
short. We'll have a short game next week, guys, because we got to be done for pre-reg.
Which is at noon, so next week will be a short game. I was like, yeah, that's a problem. That's conflict.
I think we should just start the stream and then just put the game on hold and continue to stream as Kurt rages because he doesn't get to sign up for all the games he wants.
I usually get most of my games.
He does. He's got like clicking kung fu, and he like gets into everything he wants.
It's shortcuts. It's just F5, Control F. Type the first few letters of the game you want. Click the button.
Again, you're telling people how you do your thing, and then...
This is an advice show, Gidget.
Anyway, So you guys should come and play if you want to play fun things.
Which weekend is that? The first weekend in September?
It is August
August
31st
31st.
through
Okay.
the September 3rd.
Yeah. So if you're in the
So it's-
greater Los Angeles area and you want to come meet the cast of Pixel Scandal, you can do that.
Or two members
or
of the cast of
Two members of the
Alternatively-
cast of Pixel Scandal.
If you would prefer to go to a real con, you can go to PAX East in March and meet us there.
That
We'll
is
be
true.
there as well.
We-
Hey, and this is a good time to mention it. Be sure to follow and like our shit, because if we get to enough stuff, maybe we can
Yeah.
maybe we can get some perks.
If we get like 10,000 followers, we can get a media pass to PAX.
Beautiful. So
yeah, guys, come on. We just need
all we need is like
10,000.
one of you to tell your 10,000 closest friends,
Yeah.
and we'll get that media pass.
But yes, we have decided the Pixel Scandal, the entire cast is heading to PAX East in March. And so if you'd like to see any of us, we'll be there,
Yeah.
which will be super fun. So I think that's everything we're
Allegedly.
excited about. What have we been playing recently?
Wow. Too
I've-
much wow.
I see here, Orestes, did you start playing Fortnite?
I downloaded it and then I bought it because it was on sale. So I bought the expensive pack and I opened all my llamas
All the lemons.
and I started playing it, and I'm at like the second update for the thing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right.
Are you
Did I
enjoying?
robot?
No. Are you enjoying the Fortnite, or is it not your cup
Yeah,
of
it's
tea?
cool.
Or?
No, I like it. It's fun. It's one of those games where I'm waiting for us to be done with like WoW, and
Mhm.
then hopefully Monster Hunter World, and then whatever else is coming up, so we can all play, because it's something that I would probably prefer to play as a group.
It is definitely fun to play as a group.
Yeah.
We the Pixel Scandal people tend to play the PVE game of it, not the PvP version.
The battle royale.
Our mini me plays the PvP version, but we do not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is super fun with your friends, and I am also kind of in the same boat. Like, I'm kind of waiting for the WoW wave to go by so we can kind of go back to Fortnite and play some more of that, or the Dead by Dawn. That was super fun, and I only played it like one day.
Yeah.
I'd love to get to play that sometime.
Yeah.
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 So Tyler, you were playing what is Octopath Traveler?
Oh.
You got that?
Yeah. The thing that so Octopath Traveler is an RPG they released. I believe it's only for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay.
And I watched someone playing it online, and it kind of made me feel like it was like a Final Fantasy VI kind of an RPG. And I thought it was really, really interesting.
Neat.
I'm liking it. I'm about 5 or 6 hours into it. It has some problems. I'm not really a fan of some of the design choices for it. But as a whole, I am actually really enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. And it feels like an older, like SNES kind of era RPG, which was like my childhood. So I certainly can understand why some people would despise it, but because it's like the old school turn-based combat. Yeah, if you ever played like the Final Fantasies, the old ones from the SNES and Nintendo, or maybe the what are they called? Help me out, Mike. Saga. Phantasy Star. It's like
nice.
Phantasy Star kind of RPGs.
What's that, like
it's-
Secret
it's-
of Mana?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Neat.
Yeah, that's neat.
Cool.
I mean, I remember seeing it, and it looked pretty cool. It looks like that old school Final Fantasy style. So
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I was probably gonna get a Switch pretty soon, and that would have been one of the games that I'm gonna pick up for it.
Yeah,
I
I
like
think you'd
it.
really like it.
I like our Switch. It's fun. I don't play it nearly as much as I thought I was going to, but that's not anything about the Switch. That's just time.
yeah, I was really digging
Fart of the Wild.
yeah. Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
But Breath of the Wild. Sorry. But yeah, it's I don't know. Games come out on PC, and I always get drawn back to PC. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually played a tabletop game today. I got to play in my first actual game in the Gauntlet, which the Gauntlet is it's like an RPG community. They host a ton of games live on Hangouts, and they do some cons and produce some zines and stuff. So I got to play my first game. It was a game called Dialect, which is it's a story game about creating a language and then how that language dies. So the game has like several phases in it, where you start with the creating the language, and the way you create this language is triggered off of cards. So there's like a deck of cards for the first age or first story or whatever it is. And it'll say like, create a word that means happiness, or create a word that means like death or the ultimate loss. And so you go through, and each person takes a turn coming up with a word, they tell what it means, sort of how it's meant to be used, and then you do a scene, basically like use it in a sentence, right? So you do a scene with a couple of characters, and then you use that word, right? So you just play out the scene until that word is used, and we kind of understand, oh, okay, this is the context in which that word would be used, and then that's when the scene is over. But I forget, it's like story starter or setting that we were using for it, because it can be any setting. Ours was solar slums. So basically the ozone is gone or whatever, and the sun is too hot. You can't be in direct sunlight. So there's like the corporations, and they have their cities and they have their domes and everything, but we are isolated. So we're in this like solar slum where we have to like hide and scrap for shade and like scrounge to live on the scraps of this civilization. And so our isolation gives us these like our own slang and our own language that we build up over time. And it turned out that through play, we found out that our civilization is sort of this like punk, anti-corporation little civilization, where the civilization, everything's perfect and everything's monochrome, and we had like one of our aspects was shade, was artificial shade. And so we came up with like these kites, like these tint kites, and so they're made of like this plastic material, and so depending on where you are, the different colors of the tint, so like you'd have like a red light district, and it was literally red because all of the kites were red in that area, and like the blue area, right? And so color was super important to us, so everything was like about color or hue or value. It was really neat to like make up these words, and then things where with like you could see our rebellion from the corporation. So like one of the words we had to come up with was dead or the ultimate loss, or death, and we ended up with corped, right? Because part of it was because this color is so important to us, like bright colors are really important, but the sun is ultimately going to bleach them. So like the things that are most important to us are the things that are most fleeting, whereas the corporations are like very sturdy and that kind of stuff. So like death wasn't a big deal, but like losing your free will was. So we had that. And then as the ages progress, it occurred to me that part of this game is losing that language, and I actually got a little upset. Like I loved our little village and like our little punk outpost, and then of course we had to kill it because that's how the rules dictate, right? So then as you draw different cards for the second story, then it's like tell how a word changes, right? Tell how your language evolves. And there's something that's the corporations are interfering with your thing, like you're losing your isolation, and so we chose that they're sending us food, because we had decided at the beginning that like the food that we have is this like gray nutrient bars that is like tasteless and colorless. So they ended up basically sending us the same nutrient bars but with like vibrant colors and like marketing on them to say like, you know, color is life and this, and so they're changing our culture based on these colorful foods, which they know we like bright things, but the colors never fade because it's that processed food where the dye never fades. Like you could leave it in the sun for a month and it's just going to be as bright red as it always was.
Right.
And so the third age, like the third part of it, because we chose that food one, is they've been like poisoning us with mind altering drugs in the food, and so like we're losing our memories, and like they, you know, one of the things we threw out was they put a decree where you can't use a certain word. So like we couldn't say corped anymore because that was derogatory towards the corporation.
Right.
Like all this stuff changes. But my character, you pick characters based on these cards. So you get like 3 cards and you choose one of those options as the type of character you're gonna play, and it's just like an archetype. So like I chose the artist. And so in the beginning, my character's super like hopeful, right? Like our art is, you know, beauty is everywhere, and I'm going to show how we're all connected. And then as the corporations start to interfere, the character was their name was Mix, and it's because like mixed media. But they were filled with all of these implants, like cyber implants. So like the corporation had altered them to fit their purpose. So they like hate the corporation, right? So now they're losing it, and they're getting a little more twitchy and a little more aggressive, and it was a really great game. Definitely recommend it. Check out Dialect if you haven't heard of it. I'll put a link in the show notes on YouTube and shout it out on Twitter. But yeah, it was a really good game.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Something I forgot to mention when we were mentioning cons and stuff, you're going to be going to Big Bad Con in October, which is in Walnut Creek. So if you're in the Northern California area and you're going to be going to that con, you can also run into Kurt and be like, hey, I stalk you on the internet.
Yeah. Come up and say hi. I'm totally cool with strangers coming up and saying hi to me. Just introduce yourself.
Yeah, so that's a thing too. But yeah, I think as a group, the thing we've been playing most recently has definitely been WoW. What exactly have you guys been doing in WoW lately?
I have been leveling a shaman and a monk. I'm getting them all to around the level 90 range, and then I'm going to have to make a decision on what the hell I'm playing for the expansion.
Right.
I'm going to basically try and have one main and one alt and just stick to that for as long as I can keep self-control. But yeah, so I haven't decided completely yet what I'm doing yet, but I'm just trying to get them all close enough to where when I make that decision, I don't have to stress out about getting them to 110 before. And I do have a warlock at 110, I have a priest at 110, and I have a paladin at 110. So
all on Horde or?
All on Horde. Yeah, I've got a bunch of 110s on the Alliance side. But those are just my Horde ones.
Yeah.
Decisions have to be made pretty soon.
Yeah, we only got a couple. We got like a week.
It's funny. I'm normally a big altaholic, but because we decided to switch to Horde this expansion, I just have the one high level character. I boosted my paladin, and that's what I'm going with. Like, I keep wanting to work on something else, but then I realize, oh well, this guy's not ready. Yeah. Like I still need to get my second legendary, and so I've still got a few more things I gotta finish out.
Honestly, it's a healthier choice anyway. Just focus on one character.
Yeah.
We don't have enough time to really do much more than that. That's why
Right.
I'm just trying not to deal with more than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am playing my human warlock, doing all of these Suramar crap, trying to get exalted with those guys so I can unlock the Night Fallen. I'm leveling a hunter through invasions only, because that's the only way I can stand a level at this point. And I'm at 109, so once I get 110 on that Night Elf Hunter, I'm going to faction change to Horde. And then I'll probably get exalted with Nightfallen in the next day or two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like maybe 3 or 4 thousand rep away.
Mm.
And then once I get exalted on my human warlock, I'm gonna faction change the hunter, do the night elf or the Nightfallen, alliance
Mm-hmm.
allied race quest, and then I'm gonna boost a Nightfallen warlock to 110 and play that
Mm.
for BFA.
Nice.
So I am working on getting the Nightfallen unlocked right now.
Sweet.
That's not bad. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna drive I'm not gonna grind the rep to get the. I really wanted the moose antlers, but I don't have the time to grind the rep and.
Yeah. Like I don't when last time I played, like we reactivated a few months ago, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do some Nightfall and some of this Suramar stuff, and I played for like 2 hours, and I was like, I hate this. I'm not having fun. This is not fun. This
Mm-hmm.
is not worth it. And I stopped playing. I never logged back on, so I played for like a day, and then I just started playing Guild Wars. But this time, I don't know what's different about it, but it's just going through and I'm playing it and actually having fun. I don't know if it's because they were like, it's the end of the expansion, so they're just like, here's, mythic raid gear, eye
Mhm.
level crap.
Mm.
Just go out and do stuff. Or I don't know if I'm just having like a lot of fun with Demonology Warlock because it is super fun.
That is probably it, because
Yeah.
Warlock is definitely in a really good place as far as fun is concerned right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having a great time with it, and I've been diehard Affliction since vanilla, and I've never liked demonology or destruction or anything, and now it's just like, ooh, demonology is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like having 12 demons at a time. It's fun.
That's
All
pretty
the
crazy.
demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of Battle for Azeroth, did you guys see that the Celebrity D&D?
Yeah.
Matt Mercer and Terry Crews.
Yep.
There,
I haven't seen it, but I do know it's a thing.
Oh my gosh, I watched it. Like there were so many moments where I was just like, "Oh my god, Terry Crews is playing D&D. It's so exciting. I love it." And he's super into it too, right? Like, but he's, of course, he's still Terry Crews. So like he's like describing his actions, and he's like, "I lift my axe up above my," and he's like flexing his big ass biceps. And there's one point where someone hits him and like they miss his AC and they're like, oh, it bounces off of his armor, and he just starts flexing his pec muscles. And Marisha Ray and Allison Birch are just like, like they don't know what to. They just can't stop laughing next to him. He's hilarious. Yeah, that was too good. I love that D&D has gotten to a point culturally where WoW is like, oh yeah, let's use that as a marketing tool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. I have not watched it, but I did also see that it was a thing, and I definitely want to go back and watch it too.
Oh my gosh. Matt Mercer's goblin voice is too good.
Well, doesn't he do the goblin voice in the Hearthstone cinematic?
I don't know. That dude
thing?
does a lot of voices for them. Marisha did a pretty good goblin too.
Because I know he sang the song in the Hearthstone goblin.
Yeah, he did the Welcome to the Dead Mines.
Yeah.
It was not Welcome to the Dead Mines, but he did the Dead Mines Hearthstone song that they put out.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty awesome.
Yep. Well, cool. Is there anything else anybody's excited about or recently played, or are we going to move into talking about Evo?
I am excited about tomorrow. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, there is another Pantheon stream with Co-Carnage, which is awesome. I think they're going to actually finally show the Dire Lords, which is like the Shadow Knight tank for Pantheon, which I think a lot of people are really excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And then more importantly than that, and this kind of is blowing the community away, they have five of some of the top MMO streamers on Twitch that they are giving access to Pantheon, and these are going to be 5 new players setting in Pantheon on Monday, and they're just going to allow them to stream and play the game.
Are they going to play solo, or are they going to be like a
no? They'll be a group together. They're going to give them pre-made characters and just let them go. And It won't be as structured and driven by the developers, which I think is what people really want. They just want to see how players are going to behave in the game and how they're going to interpret the abilities and if they'll figure it out.
Right.
But super excited about that. That's going to be Monday at 6 p.m.
Nice.
And I will post it in chat if anyone is interested in watching that. If you're going to watch anything, I would suggest watching that one. I think it's going to give people the best first impression. Not maybe the best first impression, but an honest first impression of like where the game really is in its current state.
Without the devs being like, oh, hold on, we got to go behind this rock so we can trigger this sound QuickTime thing so you can find this key. And
yeah, have they said what level they're gonna be giving them the pre-mades at?
I don't know. I don't believe that they have said anything.
Yeah, because I know like if you were to put somebody even like me middle to high level like EQ2 who's never played it and just threw them in there, it'd be a mess. Like you wouldn't want to watch people who didn't know how to play anything about EQ2. You wouldn't want to watch them just thrown in at like a mid to high level dungeon because they'd just be sitting there like, I've got 50 buttons. What do I do?
I have a personal feeling of what they're going to do and where they're going to put them. And if I'm correct, they'll be around the level 25-ish range.
Okay.
There are a lot of buttons in those games, though. I don't know how Pantheon is handling it, but like I remember playing EQ2 and.
Oh yeah, EQ2 was the most bloated ability game there's ever been for an MMO. And I kind of loved that about it a little bit, but yeah, it's absolutely bloated. No, Pantheon is not. It has a confined hotbar. I think it's about 15 or 16 hotbars, but a few of those are taken up by static options. So no, it's actually pretty well streamlined. It's not nearly as constrained as like Guild Wars 2 though. Like you have more than that, but it's not. You're not going to have like 8 hot bars of stuff.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
Cool. I'm going to check it out because I definitely want to play that when it comes out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We gotta remember the lessons we tried to teach on failing to learn or losing to learn.
Yeah.
Failing forward.
Take our own advice.
Alpha should be coming pretty darn soon. Pre-alpha kind of feels like it's winding down. So I would say that they're probably going to be having an alpha launch within the next month or two.
Cool.
And I think I think the price level when I looked at it, beta was where I was willing to jump in. I think it was like $60 or something.
That's most people. Yeah, the pre-alpha, I signed up for pre-alpha something like 2.5 years ago when it was like $250, I think. So it was not cheap.
Yeah.
But this is like my game, right? If there was ever an MMO that has got my name on it, this is it, because I'm an EverQuest fanatic. That always happens. So.
Yeah. So for Tyler, there's Pantheon. For Mike, there's Blade and Soul. So that's just like that.
That's the split. That's where the split is.
On brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boob physics for Estes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a memory simulator is all that game is.
It's not even a simulator. Like, they don't work like that.
You cannot play those games. It's too much. It's just too much.
Just put Gonzo in the title and he's good.
All right. Well, did you guys get a chance to watch any part of Evo this weekend? I watched a bit.
I watched some of the pools yesterday, and then I watched some of DBFZ today. I actually kind of I was hoping End of Line here could give us like a primer for people who don't know what is Evo, what is Evolution 2018.
Yeah. So Evo is the Olympics of fighting games. It's the biggest international competition for fighting games. They have tournaments, all kinds of tournaments throughout the year in different countries and different cities, where you earn points, seeding points, that give you a place in a bracket for this tournament. But it's a double elimination tournament of all. Usually they have about 5 to 6 main games per year, and then they have side tournaments of probably lesser known or maybe lesser supported fighting games, or fighting games that are a little older and whatnot. And anyway, they have these competitions where this is the tournament where if you win this, you are the best at this particular game in the world, just like the Olympics, would be. But yeah, we watch it every year. Some years we've gotten together and had little parties and watched like the finals on Sundays, which is when all the big the mainstay games have their top 8 tournaments. But it's a lot of fun, even if you're not into fighting games. If you're a nerd, it's kind of nice to see people of the gaming genre at the peak of their ability, pitting against each other, and seeing just the reaction times and the strategy, and really, it's kind of just incredible, the mental game and what they can do with a 2D video game.
Right.
But, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I always we were Kurt and I were talking about this when we were watching the Street Fighter part of it. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, there were some Street Fighter pools yesterday. They kind of bounce around to everything.
But definitely the Olympics feel of it, where they're talking about like the different nations and who this person and like who's representing, and like which countries are really doing well and which ones aren't, that they expected to do well, and that kind of, like, I found that really interesting and neat, that kind of part of it.
Yeah, they really play up like the nationalism, like you're repping your country, right? Like the Olympics.
There's a system called the ARC system, which is a very predominantly Asian-centric gaming system. It's very aerial, very flashy, very combo driven. Juggle heavy. And I'm saying a lot of terms that probably a lot of people. It's very Asian centric. It's very popular in Japan. Not that it's not popular in America, but it's just less so. And it was a big deal this year because top 8 was 7 Japanese people and 1 American.
Wow.
And the American got to, he didn't end up winning, sorry for the spoiler, but he did get to the grand final and he got 2nd place.
Wow.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of competition in America for that game. So it was a big deal for America. And, they had people with the American like flags and everyone was freaking out because he was winning. So there is that Blaze Blue cross tag.
Oh, well, it's Blaze Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So apparently there's one player in Melty Blood that's doing really, really well too. And so it's really fun to like kind of, it adds another layer of that competitiveness, and they love it. The Japanese love to fight against the Americans, and the Americans love fighting against the Japanese and the Koreans, and of course, I mean, it's all friendly, of course, but it makes it more exciting for the viewers.
Yeah, I doubt there's a lot of fights. Not a lot of fist fights at the at Evo.
A lot of salt, a lot of trash talking.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think in the years of me watching, not necessarily Evo, I watch a lot of the tournaments. By the way, there are a ton of them.
Yeah.
I've probably only seen like 2 or 3 actual fights break out.
That's hilarious.
But they don't stream the money matches.
Yeah.
They don't stream the money matches. It's true. They do in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's legal.
Oh, so. Right. So it's something I thought was interesting this year is a lot of games fell off. Like, there's a lot of games that were staple games that aren't being played this year. Like, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is gone.
Got replaced
what else did you... what was that?
Infinite? MVC 3 got replaced with Infinite, and then Infinite just tanked.
Yeah. Infinite did not do terribly well. It was fun to watch, but the game was a little bit busted. Like, as much as Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was kind of a one-touch kill game, if you had like a particular composition of characters, Infinite was actually worse so. And so people got to the peak of gameplay with that game, and it was just kind of busted. Not only is there no MVC3, but there's not even Marvel Infinite, so there's absolutely no Marvel representation this year at all.
Well, one of the bad things with MVC Infinite is, I was watching a video of this guy who was breaking it down, like why Infinite failed the way that it did. And one of the developers, they were doing an interview with them, and he basically just said that the characters are functions. Like, there's no development put into like making the characters fun and exciting to play. It was like if somebody wants Magneto, why do you want Magneto? Because he can do an 8-way dash. Well, so can Miss Marvel or whatever that Power Girl, whatever that chick's name is. So like the developers are approaching these characters like they're just functions and they're just a move set. And it's like people don't pick characters like, yeah, the pros who are just like out there to win money in tournaments and stuff, they might pick characters based on their move sets and their abilities. But the people who buy the games, like the casual fans, the people who just play it just for fun because they like their characters, they buy it because the characters are cool. Like,
Right.
Yep.
like
Which is why Injustice does so well.
yeah.
Because Injustice, all the DC characters are extremely well defined and they are very unique, and you know exactly who they are from their movesets.
Oh yeah. They just look cool too.
And they do. They look amazing. Like the Joker, like I don't know how he is in the meta, but if you watch someone who actually knows how to play the Joker, it's amazing.
Right.
It's so fun to watch.
But that is why I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That game is so fun to watch. It's totally replaced MVC3 for me.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I gotta be honest. I know nothing about Dragon Ball. Like, I've maybe seen a couple of episodes, and I rolled my eyes when I saw they were making a fighting game for it.
Dude,
It
why
looks
would
so
you?
Shocked,
cool.
man.
Dragon Ball Z has like 30 fighting games.
Well,
Does it?
I've never played any of them, but
Going
I
all
will,
the way back to like Nintendo, Super Nintendo. There's been 100 DBZ fighting games.
I've
That's
never
hilarious.
watched the cartoons. I never really got into it. But this game does look incredibly fun.
It looks super
It does
really
look super
does.
fun. Yeah, it's so flashy. It totally reminds me of like those old MVC3,
Uh-huh.
like just
Yeah.
flying around, just being ridiculous, team up moves, tag moves, all that
It-
stuff.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
It's right at the wall of being too much, and then it pulls away. Right? It's like
yeah.
it's almost that point where like I don't understand what the hell's going on, and then it just seeds a little bit, but it doesn't go further. It doesn't go to the point where it's just absurd. Like MVC3 kind of does sometimes.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
one
it
doesn't really
absolutely
get to
does.
that level, which is, I mean, that's a hard road to cross. I think when you have a game like that.
MVC3 was bananas though. Like you would see like there because
Yeah.
I had no idea. I loved watching it because it just looked amazing, but I had no idea what was happening. Like
Yeah.
I like at one point like there's just there's a girl there, and now there's like a million pink fireballs, and then there's like
You're
4
probably
dudes
watching
flying in
Oregon.
from the edges. And
Yeah,
like,
that's
and then
Oregon.
KO. Okay, I guess somebody won. Like,
oh man, no, it was great. We were watching MVC a couple years ago during Evo during the finals, and I don't even remember who it was. Dude was playing Rocket Raccoon, and he just won with log traps, just spamming logs.
Oh, that Japanese.
Yeah, it was great. He was just
That was
throwing
our
them.
favorite match, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "This is the lowest tier character." He was just dominating everyone with Rocket
Yeah.
Raccoon.
Yeah.
We were all. I remember Gordon and Mike and I were all cheering for this guy. We're just like, "Yes, Rocket Raccoon, destroy them!"
Well,
I
it's
love
such a low tier character. None of the pros have any experience fighting against him because nobody plays it seriously.
yeah. That's I love that about metas too, because like the tiers, most of the time the tiers aren't that different. Like the percentage benefit you get for tier A versus tier C or whatever, like they're not
Yeah.
super huge usually. It's just that the meta, like the guy that is the number 1 is beat by the set of number 2, and the number 2 is beat by set of number 3, and then like if you don't pick one of those, right, it's rock paper scissors which set do you get. But then the tools on those lower tier characters, no one's used to playing against them.
Yeah.
So like you can really shake shit up until people realize what's going on and figure out how to deal with it.
That is 100% true.
Yeah, those are always
If you've played online and you've played 1,000 games between Evo, I guarantee you 600 to 700 of those games have been against meta champions.
Mm-hmm.
So you do not understand every facet of that matchup if you've not played against an A+, S+ tier person who is completely character loyalty to some D-ranked champion or character. And you get in there and you're like, I don't understand what's about to happen. I don't know this matchup at all. And then you sleep on that character and then you get sent home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and then another thing, you just don't have the experience with like the animations and like the
Mhm.
move
Yeah.
sets and all that good stuff. So it's like even if they're just using, the same strats like high-low mix-ups, crossover stuff like that, you just don't recognize the animation, so you don't know what's coming next because you've never
Is
seen
this
it.
is this plus on block? Is this minus on block? Can he
Yeah.
can he do a trap on this? Like if you don't know that stuff, then you won't know how to combat it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this safe? Is this not safe?
High level fighting games are there's so much nuance to them, and there's so much skill baked into high level fighting games. Like I enjoy watching esports stuff sometimes. Like watching league matches is really fun, but the level of detail that you have to understand for high level play in fighting games, like frame by frame understandings of like how far, like pixel by pixel where you can be, and what's coming next, like that kind of stuff, it trips me out.
Yeah. When you're watching a fighting game on these tournaments and you see one of the players losing, pull out their phone and start like scrolling, they're probably not used to that matchup, and they are literally looking at frame data of the other character to know what is safe and what is not safe in that matchup, so that they can punish them for things. But they literally memorize frame data of their characters. Like, is this is a 10 frame ability? I know I can punish that if I block that. You know what I mean? Things like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
somebody wrote a card game. I'll have to look up what it's called, but it was trying to emulate that high level play without needing to have the physical skill to get there. Like you don't, because it's a card game, you're just basically looking at like, oh, what move did they pick? Can I punish? Right? Like, can I do these things, and how do I react to the moves that they make? And so it was the high level play of fighting games without the muscle memory that is required to get there.
So like every round in the card game is one frame.
It was something like that. It was like, I'm gonna play this card that does this, but it's like it's a whatever many frames ability, right? And then like the other guy's like, okay, well I can do I block or do I what is it like when you try when you try to like there's stuff like that, right? Like do I counter or do I block, that kind of stuff. So it's like you had to kind of guess a little bit what they're gonna do based on what they did last time, and go up against them. So there was some stuff like that. Without having to physically be able to do that on a controller in real time. Yeah. I'm going to have to check out that Dragon Ball game. I'm going to have to get that, because it just looks so bananas cool.
I have a few of the Dragon Ball fighting games, and they've all been pretty fun. I think the first one I got was like, what was it? It was on Super Nintendo, and I think it was called like Hyper Fighter. And they're pretty fun. I mean, some old PlayStation imports. I don't think the first one came out in America until like PS2 or something, and there was like DBZ Budokai or something like that. Yeah, they're pretty fun. I've got a few of them.
Nice. That's awesome.
So tomorrow, if you're interested, if we sold you on Evo and you've never watched it before, tomorrow is the finale day. So they have the finales for all the tournaments. And it looks like
is the losers bracket tomorrow too, or was that today?
Well,
tomorrow will only be top 8, so it'll be 4 loser bracket, 4 winner brackets.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in fighting games, just so you know, I believe Street Fighter 5 and I believe Blaze Blue and maybe some other ones, they're having a free to play week on Steam. And also on like Network and Xbox Network. So people who are watching Evo, and that'd be a cool game, but you don't want to buy it, load it up and play it for free for the weekend.
Yeah, that's really cool. And honestly, I mean, I don't necessarily understand all the jargony, talky stuff about all the fighting games, but I actually do enjoy watching them and seeing the guys kick the shit out of each other, which is kind of neat. That's kind of interesting.
And like,
it's fun to watch.
There's nothing more exciting than having someone at like a pixel of health just like 100 to 0 somebody.
Come back.
Yeah. When they come back like that,
frame.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Like, and the announcers are screaming and like you're getting up off the couch like, ah. Yeah. It's like that Hail Mary pass. Yeah, it's definitely super entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really played like seriously a fighting game since Guilty Gear. I was a huge Guilty Gear fan a few years ago, but I just got addicted because of the music.
Mm.
Music in Guilty Gear is
Yeah,
so
right.
good. You
I
know.
I never played I never played like I never got into a point where I could be competitive with fighting games. I mean, I played them a ton when I was a kid, like Street Fighter and like Killer Instinct and shit like that. But it was just friends tearing, destroying each other, and then somebody gets mad, smashes a controller, and goes home.
He's talking
Where I
about
grew,
himself.
where I grew up was an oil field town in southern Louisiana, and all the offshore people would kind of hang out there while they were waiting in between work, and they all loved video games, so they would go to the arcade, at this bowling alley arcade, and the arcade in the mall, and they would gamble on Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and Darkstalkers and Killer Instinct and all these fighting games. And my buddy and I used to clean house. We were like 14 years old. We would go there and we'd walk out with like $50, which for a 14-year-old was like a fortune.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, we used to play competitively, and Mortal Kombat was kind of my game. That's the game that I like played the most competitively and went to tournaments and did.
Nice.
I saw a thing recently about Mortal Kombat when they did like the beta, when they put a box somewhere, or they had like several of them, and they had people come in to play it for the first time, and they hadn't said that there would be fatalities. Like they didn't tell anybody there would be fatalities. This little kid, like this kid goes up and on his first quarter triggers a fatality on accident, and nobody sees it. And so he's trying to tell everyone, like, oh my god, you don't understand. Like, no, he was like, get over it. Like, and then, like, he ripped his head off or whatever. Like, he's trying to tell people, and everyone's like, yeah, sure, whatever, kid. Like, nobody believed him. And he goes to the guy who made the game, and he's like, no, I saw this thing, and I don't know what happened. And he goes, that's weird. I don't know anything about that. Like, he just posted him. And then it was like... Yeah, he was like, no, I don't know, that's weird. And then it was like 8 months before anybody did it again or something like that.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's
Poor kid.
Because they didn't figure, yeah, right? He's like, I fucking told you. I could just see him like in therapy, like, and it was there all the time, like I told him.
Oh, poor kid. It's so sad. Well, cool, guys. Well, awesome. I think we're coming up to our end here. Kurt, do you want to rattle off all the crap that people should go check us out on?
Yes, if you are new here, or if you wanna contact the show, you can do.
I think even if you're not new, you should go check out our site because Kurt touched it and it changed. We
made a few updates to the site, so go check out pixelscandal.com. It looks a little bit better now. Send us an email. We want your emails. We would love to talk to you and hear from you. Send us questions. Send us questions about games, or just random nerd shit. Like, is there something you don't know what it means? Send us a question. No judging. We'll answer that shit. And hell, we'll research it for you. But yeah, if you want to email the show, you can do so. pixelscandal@gmail.com. If you want to find out more about us and what's going on, you can go to pixelscandal.com. If you want to reach out on Twitter, if Twitter's your thing, you can hit us up at pixelscandal on Twitter. And, of course, you can watch our videos live here, twitch.tv/pixelscandal. If you're watching this on YouTube later, like and subscribe and all that garbage. But, yeah, follow us on Twitch. We're at 42 of 50. If we get to 50, we can get into affiliate, and then we can get subscriptions and stuff. So that'll be really exciting for us. So if you want to support the show, follow and tell your friends. That's it.
Cool. And Handor's not here for me to give him shit about not writing an outro. So I guess we'll just say goodnight.
I'm pretty sure he's dead. He hasn't even been on Discord for like a week.
Yeah, he may have died.
I'm pretty sure he's on a quest to get his liver back from whoever stole it. So
yeah.
He woke up in a bathtub full of ice, and now he's tracking down his liver.
Yep.
So.
Well, Handor, good luck on your quest.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night, and
we'll see you for our gaming next Saturday.
Yeah. Join us next week.
9 a.m.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.